Gwen, and I have
It's wet.
peace, peace, peace in my fingers. Watch what I can do. I've got peace, peace, peace in my fingers. What do I want to do? I want to shake hands with you. Can you guys do that with me? Show me peace in your fingers. I've got peace, peace, peace in my fingers. Watch what I can do. I've got peace, peace, peace in my fingers. I want to shake hands with you. And just reach out like you're shaking everybody's hand around you. Yeah, that's awesome. I've got words, words, words in my hand. Watch what I can do. I've got words, words, words in my head. I want to talk things over with you. Can you guys do that, words in my head? Sing it with me. I've got words, words, words in my head. Watch what I can do. I've got words, words, words in my head. I want to talk things over with you. I've got love, love, love in my heart. Watch what I can do. I've got love, love, love in my heart. I want to share some love with you. Let's do that all together, okay? I've got love, love, love in my heart. Watch what I can do. Yeah, a hug. That's a great way to do it. I've got love, love, love in my heart. I want to share some love with you. Thank you, but we'll just do 2 hugs for now because otherwise we won't get to all our story times. But those are great. When you guys get home, no. When you guys get home, you guys are going to share that with your mom and dad, okay? All right. Ready? Does everybody remember all of them? Hang on 1 second. Remember, what was the first one? I got peace, peace, peace in my fingers. Words, words, words in my head. I got love, love, love in my heart.
You could give kisses.
Kisses, that's another great one. Well, thank you guys for going along with that. You guys picked that. And I like that. So here's another way we can show our love is to be awesome to the earth. So here, and there's a heart. That's right. Very good. Observe it. The earth book. I take care of the earth. We're going to listen, okay? Put our listening ears on. Not too long, but it'll be really long if I don't get started. So I'm going to get started. I take care of the earth because I know I can do little things every day to make a big difference. I use both sides of the paper and bring my own bags to the market because I love the trees and I want the owls to have a place to live. I turn off the faucet while I brush my teeth and use less water for my baths because I love the fish and I want the oceans to stay blue. I take the school bus and ride my bike because I love the stars and I want the air to be clear so I can see them sparkle. Sparkly star thing. I try to eat every bite on my plate and save my leftovers because I love watching things grow and I want there to be enough food for everyone. I remember to turn off the lights and shut the refrigerator to save energy because I love the polar bears and I want the snowmen to stay cool. I throw garbage in the trash can and recycle glass, aluminum, paper, and plastic. I love to walk barefoot in the grass with these little guys. And I don't want to move to Mars. Could be interesting though, but that's not ready for us, so we don't want to move to Mars. Most of all, I help take care of the earth because I want us all to be happy and healthy. It's pretty happy and healthy there to me. Love all those colors. Every one of us can help protect the earth and make it feel good. Remember, if we take care of it, it will take care of us. Love, Todd. And Todd is the author, Todd Parr. That was nice. He gave us a little note at the end. What's that? What's the one that's 3?
That's what I was
I have my 3rd thing though. There's a 3 connection. This is unreal. So this one is really, really fun. This one is super fun. You are gonna, I think you're gonna love this one. This one is kind of a silly princess though. Does anybody like silly princesses?
I do.
All right.
I
Here's
have
our.
a sweatshirt on because I don't
Yeah, well, I'm gonna take that one off. All right. This is one of my favorites. I hope you guys like it. It's super, super silly. Falling for Rapunzel. Once upon a time. No. This is a different one. Remember, I told you it was silly. Once upon a bad hair day, a prince rode up Rapunzel's way. From up above, he heard her whine, upset her hair had lost its shine. He thought her crying was a plea, and sallied forth to set her free. Alas, she was too far away to quite make out what he would say. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, throw down your hair. She thought he said your underwear. Oops! No, Rapunzel, your curly locks. Rapunzel threw down dirty socks. It's silly. It's super silly. Please, love, just your silky tresses. She thought he asked for silky dresses. In lace and frills up to his head, the prince's cheeks were blushing red. Rapunzel, do you have a rope? Rapunzel dropped a cantaloupe. It burst in pieces on his head. Oh, bad catch, Rapunzel said. Perhaps, he sighed, this is a test. And bound by love, he did not rest. Pretty silly. And she said, well, he said he's trying to get her to throw down her hair. She's just not hearing it well. Oh, Rapunzel. Oh, no. Okay, Rapunzel. How about twine? She heaved out her blue ribbon swine. By now, the prince was feeling hammered, not to mention less enamored. He growled up, do you have a ladder? Rapunzel tossed out pancake batter. It covered him from head to toe. She yelled, it's better cooked, you know. Oops. At this, the poor prince had a cry, then cupped his hands for one last try. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your braid. It's silly. This is silly. Confused, Rapunzel pushed out her maid. Her maid. The maid fell squarely on the prince, quite pleased with the coincidence. She nimbly jumped up off his lap and soon revived the flattened chap. Then smiling said, for what it's worth, you'll find I'm really down to earth. His young heart thrilled, he gave a hoot. For what was more, the maid was cute. She set the prince upon his steed, then leapt behind with graceful speed. And leaning close so he could hear, she whispered something in his ear. I fell for you when first we met. He nodded, how could I forget? And that's silly. She really fell for him. Rapunzel watched them ride from sight. I'm glad I finally heard him right. I hope if they come back for more, they'll think to knock on my back door. And there she is, fixing her hair. She needs to fix her hearing too, huh? Got them so many things mixed up. That is one silly story there. I have another song. You guys need to be my echo again. You guys did a great job before, so I know. Echo me. You're going to do a tap with me. Here we go. Oh, Jeremiah. Okay, and you do it right after me, okay? All right? So Miss Nicole was helping out with this one. She got it right up.
Oh, Jeremiah.
You
So you copy what she says.
Oh, Jeremiah, he jumped in the fire. The fire was so hot. He jumped in the pot. The pot was so black. He jumped in the crack. The crack was so hot. He jumped in the sky. The sky was so blue. He jumped in the canoe. The canoe was so shallow. He jumped in the tallow. The tallow was so soft. He jumped in the loft. The loft was so... Oh no. What was the loft? The loft was so... I remember. The loft was so rotten. He jumped in the cotton. The cotton was so white. That there he decided to stay all night. Sleeping in the cozy cotton. That's just a silly, silly, silly song. You guys did a great job on my silly. Can you tell I like silly?
I like silly.
All right, good. I'm glad you like silly because this next one, I tried it on my son and we got so super silly. So some of you might know the story already, and if you don't, I am so sure you will hear it again and again. But you probably won't hear it told. This way. Oh, no way.
On your bottom.
Mr. Turtle. Oh, I'm very sad. Well, I'm going to have to tell you my partial puppet plan. Where did Mr. Turtle go? All right, well, Mr. Turtle, I guess he's so slow he couldn't make it into my bag. This is the story of the tortoise. Who's not in my bag? I can't find him. And the hare. You guys heard of a type of rabbit called a hare? I can't believe I don't have any tortoise. Well, I'll have to stop by another time and show you guys my great tortoise. So the tortoise and the hare. How many people are... Thank you so much. Okay, he will do. He will do very, very well. Nice to meet you. Okay, so, the tortoise and the hare. How many of you know the story of the tortoise and the hare? Yeah, I get to be the first to tell you this great story. All right, here we go. So this is the story of a tortoise and a hare. A hare is a kind of rabbit, but it is a little bigger. It has longer back hind legs and bigger ears than a rabbit. And he's not usually in a hat, but mine's in a hat, because he's a magical hare. Well, Hare knew for sure that he was the fastest animal on 4 feet. Every morning, he leaped out of bed and did his exercises and set off for a run before breakfast. Hare ran like the wind, twice around the field and twice around the forest, and he was not even out of breath at the end of it. Animals who lived in the field and the forest and who were up early in the morning would see Hare rushing by at top speed. On his way back, one morning he met a fox who had been out hunting all night. Now the fox was a pretty swift runner himself. "Good morning, Hare," he called after him politely. "Morning, Fox," Hare replied, running on the spot. "Getting ready for a race? Or getting ready for a race, Hare?" asked Fox. "Not at all," Hare replied haughtily. I do this every morning just to keep fit. Where my hair did a handstand and a double flip in the air and kept on running. How about that? Very fast hair. Show off, said Fox to himself, when hair disappeared down the path for his hat. A large tortoise lived quite close by. I'm the large tortoise. Now everyone knows that tortoises are as slow as molasses and would never think about getting up early in the morning. Tortoise seemed quite content to stay in bed till lunchtime reading a book. Then he would amble off to the pond, dilly-dallying along the way to nibble some nice green grass or smell flowers. Where did he go? Oh, there it is. Tortoise really was a pretty slow, easy-going sort of fellow. Now, if there was anyone who made Hare upset, it was Tortoise and his slow way. One day, Hare saw Tortoise lazing by the pond, as usual. Instead of saying good morning politely, Hare said in a mocking voice, "You never get anywhere, do you? Just poking around all day." Tortoise replied slowly, "It's getting hot and bothered running around in circles like you do." "I'll have you know," said Hare, boastfully, "I'm the fastest animal in these parts." Tortoise said, well, good for you. But it's just possible that I could beat you in a race." "Beat me," said Hare, "beat me." And Hare's whole body shook with laughter. "You beat me? That's a joke. Ha 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 ha. Beat me in a race? Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. So, yes, okay, Hare, we got it. You got it? You said so. Hare's laughter was so loud that other animals gathered to see what was going on. He laughed so hard that tears ran down his cheeks. And he filled up his hat with water. It was like a hat bath. That's enough, Hare. Tortoise says, "Ha ha, he can beat me in a race. Ha ha, me, the fastest animal in these parts." Okay, let's listen up. Let's listen to what happens. Frog, who was listening carefully, said, "Well, how about a race to decide? Everyone is invited." So the track for the race was marked out, and the best tickets were sold for 5 cents each. There was a great excitement in the crowd. Mouse was chosen to be the starter for the race. Hare was first at the starting line, of course, and Tortoise just strolled up. "On your mark," shouted Mouse through a megaphone. "Get set, go!" And off they went, with a loud cheer from the crowd. As you can imagine, before long, Hare was so far in front that Tortoise was nowhere in sight. It was clear that Tortoise would never catch up with him. So Hare decided to lie down in the warm grass for rest. And soon he fell asleep. In this place, he laid down in his hat, dreaming hairy dreams. Suddenly, a cheer went up from the crowd and woke Hare up. Tortoise was crossing the finish line. Hare leaped up and ran as fast as he could, but it was too late. Mouse had dropped the flag. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the race is Tortoise. Yes, another cheer exploded from the crowd for the winner. So you see, Tortoise was right after all. Slow and sure does win the race. Have you heard that?
But remember, the show said, "Slow down, Catboy."
Oh, that's in another show, so that's probably having that same message that this important story does. Slow and sure. I've also heard it said slow and steady does win the race. Sometimes we go racing all around crazy like, right? Trying to get everything done. But we goof things up because we're going too fast.
Or
Now
you
he's
say,
like,
slow down, Grandma, or slow down, Owlet.
Can you guys remember? You say slow down. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. That's the important message of this story. I hope you remember that. It's a hard one to remember. I'm more like the hero. But I try to remember those important words from the tortoise. So, are we okay on time? Or okay, I got a couple more. How much? 10 minutes. Okay. Oh, I got it. This one. All right. So there's definitely a theme here, guys. This is a little bit silly. You're gonna laugh. Pay close attention to the pictures on this one. Has anyone seen this one before? This is not my hat. This is not.
Did you get the email about that?
This is important. Watch these pictures, okay? Everybody put it. This hat is not mine. I just stole it.
My address is not right.
I stole it from a big fish. He was asleep when I did it.
So we can update it, because they send them through email, so you won't get it.
And he probably won't wake up for a long time.
They get sent out what? Send a
And he's
trying to figure out address.
I and even if he does wake up, he probably won't notice that it's gone.
Already there right on time for Casey won't give you the floor.
What do you think? Does he notice it's gone?
I don't know what. I'll just put down.
And even if he does notice that it's gone, he probably won't know it was me who took it. Find out. And even if he does guess it was me, he won't know where I am going. But I will tell you where I am going. I am going where the plants grow big and tall and close together. It is very hard to see in there. Nobody will ever find me. There is someone who saw me already, but he said he wouldn't tell anyone which way I went.
Somewhere you're good.
So I am not worried about that. I know it's wrong to steal a hat. I know it does not belong. But I am going to keep it. It was too small for him anyway, so it fits me just right.
Why?
And look, I made it where the plants are big and tall and close together. I knew I was going to make it. Oh, is that your swimming? Is that how you swim? Nobody will ever find me. Do you think somebody might find him? Oh, what's happening in that tall grass?
I just like because I'm finding more steps to.
There's that crab. Did the crab tell that big fish which way it was going? Anybody notice that? He did. You just great. Up, you're certainly up.
Oh, is it?
What's happening here? What does that big fish
I think
have?
it's a straight leg. She just ripped her shirt.
Oh, okay. Oh, she has a skirt. I'm like, what is
And
that?
we have a little fish.
Do you need to go somewhere to change your pants?
Where do we go? Well, what happened here? Did our friend, did this big guy get his hat back? Did this crab not tell
Well,
that
there's
big
probably
fish
no one at home for her at this point in time. He'd be hanging out with Autumn.
We wonder
For hours.
The wonder page. Wondering
Yeah.
on this page?
Have to come back.
I like to wonder. Nobody will ever find me, but who's going into those tall
Do you want me to
grasses?
leave you to leave early? Huh? Do you want me to leave you to go?
Literally 5 minutes till Amy gets back.
Oh, I didn't even know. So what time
Yeah, actually was.
Okay, doing time sheets now.
Does anybody know what happened? What do you think happened? He got his hat back. He got his hat back. That's some good. I think I have enough time to do. Yeah, I do. I think I can get rid of a couple more minutes. Oh, have you done this one before? I love Alice's and Piggy. So some of you guys get to hear it again, and I'll go quickly because I know we're getting close to your lunchtime. But has anybody here not heard Elephant and Piggy? I love my Piggy. All right, let's put. I want everybody hang on there, okay? Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that. But let's put our listening ears on.
Right.
Oh, well, you know what? I think your teacher wants you to stay here first, and then when it's time for hand washing,
Finish
that
this. I mean,
After this book, okay? One more story and then we'll watch again for lunch.
This is a really fun one to do as you guys are learning to read. I love to do this one with my son. He plays Piggy and I play Elephant.
he can't. This school.
So if you guys are learning to read, you can do these stories. Like act them out. Can you guys see over here on the wall, okay? So that way you can be sure to see the picture, okay?
Caroline was the
Hi,
same way.
baby. What are you doing? Look at my new toy. I love my new toy.
Right.
What does it do? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Baby, it is a throwing toy.
Yeah.
I love throwing toys. Here, try it. Yes! Sit.
Yep. That's not what I'm getting, but I think it's less common too.
Nice
But I mean, they
throw.
probably know
Nice.
what it is. I'm gonna bring him to the doctor if I go because then I can have doctor's note for the future because it will say that he can return most likely. So,
Great.
because he gets it and it's like the arm, he gets the back action happening.
You know what, ladies? Let's stay in our own state. Can you sit on that beautiful flower right there? You sit on the beautiful flower, and then you're on that J in the flower. Perfect. So what's gonna happen with this toy? I broke your toy. You broke my toy. My new toy. I am mad and sad. I am mad and sad. I am sorry. You are sorry? Very sorry. I do not care. My new toy is broken. And you broke it. Cool. There it is. This is what I gotta find out. You have a break and snap toy. Snap. This is a fun toy. I got so upset, huh? Enjoy. Break. Snap.
That's not funny.
Well, it's kind of funny, but let's see. Break. Snap.
My best
Do you want to play with my new toy? This is my favorite part. No. He said no. I do not want to play with your new toy. Oh, you do not want to play with my new toy? I do not want to play with your new toy. This. I want to play with you. Friends are more fun than toys. Here, you're it. No, you're it.
I have the ice cream.
So the ice cream, they're all really great. This is a great story because the toy's not so important. It's Elephant and Piggy being good friends. They're great stories and they're really fun. They're really fun to play out. I have a special poem I want to share with you because what holiday is coming up next week? Thanksgiving. Well, I'm going to put on my favorite Thanksgiving song. There's not too many Thanksgiving songs, so it wasn't hard to pick. Here's my Thanksgiving song. Let's see. And I have my Thanksgiving poem here's my Thanksgiving poem. And I brought an extra one, so maybe your teachers would like a copy. This is called All in a Word. And maybe you guys might have talked about these poems, or if you haven't yet, you'll see them in a couple years. It's called an acrostic poem. So this poem is built on the word thanks. For each letter in the word thanks, there's a special sentence. See how it says THANKS? Can you guys sit in your own space because that doesn't look very safe? Can you sit on your own square? Can you sit up crisscross applesauce? And then you guys are going to get to lunch really soon. I'm going to read you my poem. Okay, and then we'll wrap up our story time. You guys have been so great. You're really great listeners. I appreciate it. Guys, can you guys sit up so you can see the picture of my funny turkey while I read my poem? Please? Thank you. Here we go. All in a word. T for time to be together. Turkey talk and tangy weather. H for harvest stored away. Home and hearth and holiday. A for autumn. I had someone named Autumn here, right? Is that you? Autumn. See, there your name is. For autumn. Oh, you can do your own. A for autumn's frosty art. And abundance. And abundance in the heart. That's meaning lots of love. N for neighbors. And November, right? This is the month of November. Nice things, new things to remember. K for kitchen. Kettles prune. Kith and kin. That's your family and relatives. Expected soon. S, this is my favorite. S for sizzles. Can you guys say sizzles? Isn't that a fun word? And when things sizzle, it sounds like that word, sizzle, huh? S for sizzles, sights and sounds. And for something special that abounds. That spells thanks for joy in living. And a jolly good. Well, joy in living rhymes with what? Joy in living rhymes with what holidays next week? Okay, so I'm going to say joy in living. Oh, can you guys sit back, right? I'll say joy. This is a good one. So here we'll try that last line. You guys, the cue is going to be when I point to you guys say Thanksgiving, okay? That spells thanks for joy in living and a jolly good
Thanksgiving!
Thank you, Mr. Paul. You guys have been so great today. It was a lot of fun. Don't forget to have peace, peace, peace in your fingers. Words, words, words in your head. And love, love, love in your heart. And I'll take those next now. Is it a unicorn? I don't know.